Today we will be deep diving on all of the most flattering top styles you should be looking for when you're shopping for your wardrobe. If you have an inverted triangle body type and struggle with knowing how to dress yourself, you've come to the right place. If you're a large band, small cup girly, this will work for you too. Hi, I'm Toria and welcome to part 1 of my inverted triangle series, where I share tips and tricks about how you can create a balanced look, which styles to look for when shopping, and how this will improve your everyday confidence. Okay, all of the links, of course, will be found in the description box below or on my LTK. Make sure to subscribe and comment below if you have any questions or requests you'd like to see in the future. And with that, let's get into my favorite top swaps. Actually, first of all, I should mention what an inverted triangle body type is. That would probably be helpful. So an inverted triangle body type is where your shoulders are more broad than your hips, creating an inverted triangle shape. Basically what we're trying to do is trying to get our body to look the closest to an hourglass shape as possible through the clothes that we're wearing. Of course, in this video, we're only discussing tops. Next week will be bottoms, and then in the future, we'll have a video on sweaters, jackets, dresses, possibly activewear, possibly swimwear. I don't know. We'll do whatever you guys want. Just let me know what you guys want to see and we'll make it happen. The first thing we're going to talk about today is fit. And by fit, I mean how the clothes fit on your body. Now, the general rule of thumb, if you have an inverted triangle body type, is to go for more of fitted styles rather than baggy styles. This is because we really want to focus on defining that waistline. Anything that's wide up top is going to make the hips look more narrow. The next thing that you should be more aware of when you're shopping is to choose more darker colored tops over the lighter colored tops. When I think about this as someone who was a makeup artist for 8 years, I kind of think about it in shadows in terms of making things look smaller versus making things look larger. If you're into makeup, you know that we use contour and highlight to achieve those things when it comes to our faces, but we can also use that concept and apply it towards our wardrobes. So any top that's on the lighter side is going to make your chest area, your shoulders, your waist all look bigger. Put a shirt more on the dark side, say like an olive green, a chocolate brown, a black, a charcoal gray, any of those colors, burgundy, will all make the opposite true. So they will actually bring in your shoulders and draw more emphasis towards the lower body, which is exactly what you want to happen. It creates more of a balanced effect. Now that we've got fit and color out of the way, let's move on and talk about necklines. So not only when you're shopping for a new top or looking in your closet trying to put an outfit together for the day, first thing you want to think about is it needs to be fitted. Second of all, it should be a darker color. And then third of all, it should be one of 4 different necklines. And those necklines are sweetheart neckline, scoop V-neck, and also asymmetric necklines are amazing for inverted triangles. And then the styles that you typically want to avoid are crew necks, boat necks, off the shoulder styles, or any like wide square necklines styles. Square necks. So the reason why we like the sweethearts, the scoop necks, the V-necks, and the asymmetric necks is all because they break up that chest area. So instead of having just all fabric across your chest without any sort of break in the real estate, is that if it's all just one color all the way across, it's going to look visually wider. So we also want to avoid any off the shoulder or wide square neck styles for the same reason, because then there's so much skin showing that it looks visually wider and there's nothing to kind of break up that real estate. So in essence, we really thrive in the middle ground. Next up, we're going to talk about patterns. Some of you may already be able to guess this, but patterns are typically to be avoided in the chestal region up top. The reason for that is because patterns just really draw the eye to that area and they make everything look bigger, bolder. Again, grab the attention. So honestly, the best way to go when shopping for tops, if you're an inverted triangle, is to stick with simple, solid styles and save the patterns for your lower half. In the same realm as patterns, let's also talk about stripes, because stripes are a little bit tricky and I feel like they're in a realm of their own. Horizontal stripes are something that you want to avoid at all costs. Again, because the stripes are this way, that is going to create an outward motion. That is going to make everything look wider, right? So we want to do the opposite. So if you do want to wear stripes, then I would go for a vertical stripe. I found that you can get away with horizontal stripes if you're going to do something more like draping a sweater over your shoulders. One thing that took the Leo in me forever to accept was how to properly wear items with ruffles, collars, and embellishments, because I wanted to wear all of the blingy things, right? Well, one thing I had to learn was to steer clear of any ruffles, collars, or embellishments along the chest, neck, or shoulders, because they add more volume to that area. So instead, I've had to opt for like ruffly sleeves, not ruffles along the chest. You can get away with that if you're an inverted triangle, but you have a smaller chest. But if you also have the larger chest as well, then you don't want any ruffles on your chest area. But for everyone across the board, basically you want to avoid any kind of ruffles up around the shoulder area. So instead of having a lot going on right here, it's better to focus on smaller details and like well-placed intentional details, which is a little bit more difficult to find, but when you do find those pieces, I'm sure that they will be ones that you wear over and over and over again, instead of buying something that you look at in your closet and you're just like, something is wrong with this and I don't know what it is, but I'm just going to let it sit here in my closet and never touch it again. So if you could find tops that have ruffles on the sleeve, that's great. And that really, really balances it out, because when your arms are down by your sides, they're near your hips. And so that illusion kind of creates even more of a wider hip. And again, with embellishments, any embellishments that are lower around the waist or even more at the hip area, if it's a long line top. So if you have pockets, if you have any kind of fringe, all focused more towards that area, especially even peplum tops when it comes to ruffles, those will all look a lot more flattering because of the way that they draw the eye more towards the lower body and make the lower body look like it has more volume than it actually does. And the last topic we're going to discuss here is straps and sleeves. So we'll start with straps. Straps are something that I have fought with my entire life. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, because summer fashion really truly caters to a certain body type. And it is very, very difficult to find tops that are flattering when you have this body shape. Just know that I feel for you, and I have some options for you to keep your eye out for. So you basically want to avoid anything strapless, anything spaghetti strap, and halter necks, which is most of summer fashion. It just is what it is, you know? Again, the concept of wearing a strapless top is almost the same as wearing an off-the-shoulder top, where again, there's so much real estate showing right here, it's not being broken up. So instead of those styles, you want to keep your eye out for items that have wider straps, anything that's going to just kind of break up that area. But again, we have to keep in mind the concept of the V-necks, the sweetheart necks, and the scoop necks. Incorporating that plus the strap size is great. Sleeves are the last thing we're going to discuss here. We are thinking more about how we're going to create more volume in the upper body without drawing more attention to the shoulders. And in order to do that, instead of really tight fitted tops, which you can still get away with, and I still wear them a lot of the time, you do actually want to kind of find tops that have a little bit more volume in the sleeves, kind of like this sweater here. It's kind of like a bat wing style, and this is really flattering because it doesn't add a ton of volume right here. It just drapes over the shoulders, but it also gives this voluminous look to the arms. So with that said, any kind of flowy arms are always going to look really pretty on this body type, especially like more of like the bell sleeve tops. And I'm not sure exactly what the term for it is, but where they're kind of tight and then they come out and flare a little bit by the arm. That's always really pretty. You do want to kind of avoid any kind of blazers that have padding in the shoulders or that are more of a menswear fit, or even tops that have ruffles along the sides, milkmaid tops with the puff sleeves. Those are all going to make your shoulders look wider. Those are all of my top swaps for my fellow inverted triangle girlies. I feel like since I learned these rules, I've had such an easier time shopping for myself and putting together outfits. And I also personally started feeling more confident when I started following these rules. I also started shopping less because I was no longer trying to shop for trends and was just shopping for things that I knew were going to be complimentary for my body. So it almost got me to shop for more quality over quantity when it came to my clothes, and also helped me to create my own capsule wardrobe. If you guys happen to want to see a spring capsule wardrobe, let me know. I'll definitely make that video for you. Yeah, I got you. Definitely leave me a comment below. Let me know if you guys try these things out for yourselves, or if maybe you learned something new today. I love connecting with you guys, and I want to be more active here in the future. So if you have any requests, leave them down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.